Hi YouTube, this is Bayu here. Today, Saturday, March 14, after spending basically the whole afternoon reading and watching some videos on doctors, MDs, reading and watching some political news from China, and some news from scientists in Russia, I had to talk to you because I want you to be aware of what's going on around the world, especially if you only stuck with the U.S. News services, as I call it, U.S. prostitute. So the first talking point would be the supermarkets. Early on this morning, we ran out of butter, so I went to the supermarket to get butter and a tea, and it was around 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, which is a good time to go to the supermarket because nobody goes to the supermarket on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And to my surprise, I couldn't even find a parking lot. And that parking outside the supermarket is huge. It can handle maybe a good 200 cars, if not more. So couldn't find a car because the little pushing car, supermarket car was gone. And I was already with a bad disposition, so I went pick up my bottle, pick out a tea, a little bit of such a water, mineral water, German style. So when I walk in, there were three ladies, not from my area, from my city, but outside my city. And if you are familiar with the metropolitan area, if you live close to diverse area and economically depressed area, you see the movement of people from the low end economy to the middle class or the high end of the economy to purchase food because they don't have it on the area. Why they don't have it in the area? Because companies don't want to invest on the poor area because they lose all the money. Point blank, they steal too much. I hope you didn't get upset, but that's the point through. So, and with that, it was a big argument with these three ladies. And to the point that they were using profanity and MFDs and BDs and this and that. And, I call the cops. Hey, you have a problem here between the three ladies. They're not from the area, but they're using too much profanity, okay? And so the 911 operator, which is a three-town to three-city operators, not one city, it's three, put together, three small cities. They were telling me that they cannot do anything because, she cannot do anything because they're not, it's not like they're not from the town. So, hey, look here, breaking the peace is a crime here in China, in Timbuktu. Send the cops, or call the cops, or I call the cops, the sergeant desk. And then, bye, you're not helping any. And what do you want? That somebody killed, one of these ladies get killed, or had a assault and battery? Do you hear yourself? I hang up. And about maybe 3 minutes later, the traffic was heavy, unbelievable. I can hear the sirens of the cops going to the supermarket. Well, I was there about maybe 17 minutes, only pick up 4 items. So you could hear that self-checkout operator in the supermarket call the manager, and I saw the manager getting upset. He was a young guy walking away from the mess, and basically threw the arms in the air, and I said, F, Well, so, hey, if the manager quits, then I call the cops. This is my sorry city, and, you're not from the city, you need to behave. If you don't want to behave, I call the cops on you. Breaking the peace is breaking the peace, and it's a misdemeanor. So, but the part that bothers me is the 911 operator making that determination that it was not important enough, which is wrong. Okay, so one of these days I'm going to go to the city and drop the dime on there. People are losing control. People are misbehaving. People are being verbally aggressively, and from misbehaving, verbal aggression to actual physical confrontation, it's only this much. So be careful out there, okay? Be careful. You can be Rambo, you can have your peace, your noisemaker. It's not worth it. Especially that type of people. Forget about it. Give them whatever they want and just get out of my face. It's not worth it. Now, I I've been watching some programs that deal with economics with real PhDs in economics, doctors in economics, most of them college university professors. That's my point number two. And what surprised me is that the repo program, which was created back in September 2019, they started with a $50 billion a month to help the bank with money velocity, the fluency or the liquidity, what they call it. However, I'm told now that the Treasury Department is going to increase the $50 billion to $500 billion a month. Now, I'm not great with numbers, but I know $500 billion there's going to be now, and 50 billion in the beginning. You got a tenfold increase from September to now. I mean, what is the problem that we don't know, or the government is not telling you? From 50 billion to 500 billion is too much, guys. It is too much. What we supporting the whole European Union? I know we're not supporting the banana countries because they all borrow money, not all, but most of them are in debt with the IMF, and the Feds are not going to give it a dime because that's not how it works. So, central bank to central bank, why do we go $500 billion? So, this is when a lot of people are talking that the coronavirus, the COVID-19, basically is excuse or is a pin that popped the death bubble, because this is what we have, an economic problem beyond belief. And when you got PhD economics talking about the repo program, hey, that's not a lie. It's taking place. If you don't believe me, go do your own research. Point number three, the problem we have now, the Latin America is forced to ban completely U.S. citizens going to their country and European citizens. Even El Salvador, which is a little bitty tiny country in Central America, is banning the Guatemalans, the U.S. citizens, the Canadian citizens, and all the European citizens from going to El Salvador. They don't want them. If they get into the airplane, they're forced to go back in the airplane and says, go back, we don't need you. So the problem with more countries now, especially Latin America, even Ecuador, decided that if you go there and you belong to any of the 123 countries that have the virus, you are 2 weeks involuntary quarantine. No if and but, no lawyers, no civil rights, no human rights, no crap stuff like that. 2 weeks medical jail. Venezuela followed the lead. Panama followed the lead. Bolivia doesn't want you to even to step in the country. So now you have Latin America completely go anti-US, anti-Europeans. They don't want the medical problem. This is unheard of. You have never seen this issue before. So now what is next? If we do have an economical problem that is being kept under the water, my suggestion to you is get your money out. And don't try to get your money all in one time, because you're not going to see it. You're not going to get it. So try to send your wife, you, and any other close family to draw your money 2 or 3 times a day, because we might have, like it happened in Argentina, like it happened in Ecuador, like it happened in Cyprus. We call it el sequillo. So the banks limit the amount of money that you draw. And I know some of you might say, no, that happens in third world countries. Really? Like it never happened over here in Banks of America. They closed because the system was down and you can only draw $50. It happened here already, guys. But if the case is for real, start working out, get your money out. And I'm not the only one that's thinking about that. Most of the people that invest in Wall Street says cash. If you got cash in hand, that's what it counts. Because the problem is, if you have a liquidity problem, a cash flow problem, this debit card is worthless. These credit cards are worthless because banks are not dealing with each other. That's what it's called, liquid problem, liquidity, cash velocity. So this is not good. You have to have cash. And finally, guys, 2 days ago, the Chinese Undersecretary of Foreign Relations accused the USA Army to drop the virus in China back in September when they went to an army game, a competition in China in the same province where the stuff started, Wuhan. And today I was reading that the Russian scientists had investigated the virus in cells, and they came out with the conclusion the new virus, the new novel COVID-19 is a combination of two prior viruses that are known to the humankind. So now you have this issue, like, really? I mean, now you have a time frame that it could have been placed. You have the problem that you don't have patient number one, or the animal that created this animal to human, as some Western scientists call it. There is none. Not even the rats has the problem. So people say, oh, came that a bat soup. Really? How come bats don't have the crap? So basically what I'm telling you, yeah, too many issues loose not to think about it, that maybe not. But I do want you to remember back in the 1800s, mid-1800s, when the U.S. Army stained some blankets and give it to the Native American. That happened. It's in history. I do want you to remember what the United States government agency did in Guatemala, practicing with syphilis and the local population, which we have a U.S. president apologizing already to the Guatemalan people and giving them a few money to the survivors. So we have what in legal terms is called precedence. I'm not saying that it was done. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that in the past, the United States government agency has done that, and it has been proven. So it's not questioned. The problem is the scientists find out for sure. Then you're gonna have a serious problem. Maybe war, maybe some type of a general embargo against the U.S., which is a possibility because U.S. like to embargo everybody else on their system, so maybe reciprocity will take place. I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking a joint, but I'm telling you what is out there, outside the U.S. Prestigious circle. Like when the earthquake happened, I mean the tornado, hurricane happened in Puerto Rico, everybody's stuck in San Juan and nobody could think about the western part of San Juan, Puerto Rico, move over to the Dominican Republic and fly back to U.S. So everybody is kind of in a box. And there are few people that think about outside the box and get ready. Now you have seen population at large all across the nation running for toilet paper and getting food. Supermarkets almost empty. I went to buy some ground beef because I said it's a little bit cheaper than like hamburgers or picadillo in Spanish. We like that. No ground beef. From one day to the next day, it's gone, disappear. So the people are getting into panic, buying panic. And I don't know what to tell you guys. So just be ready. And the first thing that I want you to do is take your money out and bury it in your house, hide it. Go to a farm, go to a dirt and put it 6 feet under. I don't care what you do. Don't leave it in the bank. Especially if you have a family to worry about it. Cash and hand counts. This is worthless. Even though you got 30,000 over here and 5,000 over here. Doesn't make any difference. Money velocity 0. These are worthless. Thank you for your time. Be careful. If you're religious, do your praying. If you're economics, do your economics homework. If you like to listen outside, get information and contingency plan. You should have one. Thank you to my new subscriber. Just listen, go outside the box, listen to outside news and understand what's happening. Italy shut down completely. Spain, emergency shut down completely. Why is it that the banana countries are doing much better? Make you wonder. And if I recall correctly, somebody called in a shithole. Did he? Yes, he did. So my question to you is, I wonder who's in the shithole now? C'est la vie. Think about it. Thank you for watching. Bye.